Hey kids, we're a couple of annoyed grunt boys, and this is the 138th Simpsons podcast.
April, come she will, when streams are ripe and swelled with rain. May she will stay.
This one's yours, Ralphie.
That's right, where the podcast explores the American animated sitcom The Simpsons from seasons 11 and beyond, and the newest ones available, and this summer, the love life of one Bart Simpson. Why do we do it like that? Well, an entity known as the Wheel of Random has trapped us and forced us to watch the show in such a manner. Plus, there's plenty of other podcasts that explore the quote-unquote golden age of The Simpsons. I say we because I am one annoyed grunt boy named Steve, and with me, as always, is the other annoyed grunt boy,
Craig Danger.
Oh, Craig Danger, how do you do?
Good. I just thought I'd use my first and middle name this week.
Because Danger is your middle name.
Absolutely. What's your middle name again?
Sexy?
Sexy's your middle name. All right.
Yeah.
Look, after years of threats, Steve, we finally are doing it, Steve.
Oh boy.
We have a paid Patreon.
That's right.
And so thanks for some people that have signed up as of this record. We'll say Trevor and Timothy at this point. Hopefully more of you will. And bonus episodes are coming very soon.
I'm so excited for this to finally get off the ground, and we're finally doing it, so yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, and now we have a reason to live. I mean, to do another record.
Right. The reason to live is still up in the air, but we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, I think what we're going to try to do is, for our first Patreon exclusive, something very special, maybe Simpsons related. At least that's, yeah, I'll say Simpsons related. It won't be a Simpsons episode, Steve, not at all.
Nope, not at all, but it will feature characters you know, and maybe some that you love, and maybe some that you don't like.
Yes. And then going forth, some movies or maybe some TV shows. That's what we do. Will there be a book talk? Probably not, unless it's a comic book.
Yeah. We can spread 22 pages into an hour.
Yeah. But movies will definitely be a feature, because we do talk about movies in this introduction sometimes. So stay tuned, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be, for our Patreon episodes, you remember how, like, if you read comic books as a kid, you'd always have to read the issues that were important, like your Amazing Spider-Mans or your Action Comics. You're reading those issues in order to get that story. And that's much like our main pod. But then, at least once a year, there would always be like an annual, which was always just kind of like fun, like a fun story, like never really related to like anything going like in the main storyline. It was just like one-offs.
Right.
In that sort of feeling, like we're not only going to do one once a year, but it'll be just a fun discussion of what we've watched or seen or ate or fucked.
Yeah, I'm excited to have people hear our thoughts about other things aside from The Simpsons and see how, knowledgeable and cultured we are about other things too.
I'm excited for the if we talk about a movie that's not animated. So and sometimes not comedy. Like, can we watch something that isn't supposed to be funny? I think everything, when we used to do it was when we did the Eye Off Springfield, we did 4 episodes, but they were all sitcom based. They were all humor based.
I mean, Willow made you laugh, but not on purpose.
Oh, I totally forgot about Willow.
So did the rest of the world.
Yeah, that's right. But look, I'm just telling the listeners, new listeners out there, old listeners, especially people on YouTube right now, listen to this podcast. Go over to patreon.com/annoyedgruntboy. Sign up. We have one tier right now. It's the $5 tier. And like a lot of, paid for Patreon podcasts, that's the standard episode. Early supporters, thank you for doing that. You'll get those bonus episodes and our eternal gratitude. And if we get, more Patrons, there will probably be another tier if there's interest, like the producer level tier, which would be a little bit control that you would have. But as of now, we're in control.
Yes. But don't worry. If you listen to us long enough, there's going to be plenty of tears. But yeah, so we're super excited for that. And, maybe at some point we'll be talking about the movies from the episode that we're watching. And so as we get into that, let's talk about the time of this episode, which was April 15th, 2012. Craig, what was the number one movie in the box office?
I'm just happy to know that as of this record, this won't be a movie we're going to be watching. And that's The Hunger Games.
Yes. It's funny because we were talking about possibly doing that, and we were talking about The Hunger Games, and I had mentioned to you that I had just recently watched it for the first time. But that's not entirely true, because I rented it on Amazon to stream, and my wife and I watched half of it one night, and then we sat down to watch it the next night, and we got to about 30 minutes to the end, and the rental was over. So we didn't finish the last quarter of the movie, so I don't know how it ends, and I don't really care, so that's my review of The Hunger Games.
I think it ended with them still hungry. They didn't get food.
It's no game I want to play.
Are you saying Hunger Games isn't on, a major streaming service and you had to rent it?
This is what I'm saying. I think, maybe 3, 5, and 6 are, streaming, but, the first one is not.
Wow. I just figured that would be just on HBO Max or Paramount Plus just The Hunger Games is such a big franchise. You can't not stream Marvel movies and Star Wars. Well, I guess that's all Disney, but still,
Yeah, and it's the beginning of Jennifer Lawrence's reign in the box office. So yeah, you would think, but no.
Yeah. I saw the movie, when it came out. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Probably. It's just not, I don't know. I always, the idea of kids killing each other is just, it's not a fun, storyline for me. That's just me.
That's fair.
They were young. I was young.
Yeah. But you had a good time, I assume. Watching it,
Low key, lowercase good time.
Yeah. And you had to, spend a little cash, a little Monet.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask one of my favorite, painter was, but in a different spelling.
That would have been a much easier way to get there.
Yeah.
So I guess that all brings us to the number one song on the Billboard Hot 100. We Are Young by lowercase fun, featuring Janelle Monáe, which is a great song. I used to like it a lot, but I haven't listened to it in a while.
Steve, I noticed you're growing some facial hair. Do you have a goatee?
Yes.
You look a lot like that Lion King. Simba.
That's right. Before I had facial hair, I was just somebody else. A different life, if you will.
That leads to the hot rock alternative, Somebody I Used to Know by Gautier featuring Kimba. So far, so good, Steve. I know both these songs.
Hey, yeah. Well, I'm sure that we'll continue with the country chart because, we used to always listen to that country station that we love in the car, when it was you and I, just me and...
I thought you were going to say you, me, and Dupree, and the guy from State Farm.
Exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, but I never paid my bill, so I was due, so I was Owen.
All right. Because Owen was you, me, and Dupree, right? Owen Wilson?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Cool. I figured something out. Country Hot song was Alone With You by Jake Owen. Very country name, Jake Owen.
It is.
And I know that Jake Owen, when he's making whoopee, he's always the one that's above the partner.
That's right.
And he's usually with a single lady is just what I know.
Exactly. It's much like when Kurt Cobain was on bottom, Love was on top. Which brings us to the number one Dance Electric song, Love on Top by that single lady who's not so single anymore, Beyonce.
Are you familiar with Love on Top by Beyonce, Steve? Have you heard this song before?
I think I've heard it once, maybe twice.
All right.
A night.
3 times a lady?
My lady. All right, Craig, let's just get into it. Today we're talking about Beware My Cheating Heart, in which Bart ends up in trouble with school bullies after Jimbo's girlfriend develops feelings for him. Meanwhile, Homer buys a treadmill equipped with a TV. All right, let's give it a watch, and we'll be right back.
June restless walk she'll prowl the night. July she will fly and give no warning to her flight.
And we're back. Today we're talking about Beware My Cheating Bart, the 18th episode of the 23rd season. It is episode 504 in the show's run. It originally aired on April 15th, Tax Day, 2012. Your nerd code is PABF11. It was written by Ben Joseph, directed by Mark Kirkland, and your showrunner is Al Jean.
All right, we got to go through Ben Joseph's extensive Simpsons writing credits. So, folks, sit back, relax, grab a cup of Joe, or a cup of Ben Joseph, that is.
Hey.
Look, he is a TV writer. He has credits on something called Triumph's 2016 Election Watch. That's Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. 2017 Spider-Man cartoon. Which one was that? You're a webhead.
Yeah, that one I think was on TV.
Oh.
I think it was on Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network. It was kind of more of a kids focus. I never saw it though.
Yeah, and it's not like that Spidey and Friends. I'm familiar with that one. That's like they're toddlers.
Yeah, no, this one was, I think, kind of probably a bridge between like the 90s Fox show and what we now know as like the more modern one, somewhere in between there. I believe it's on Disney Plus now.
Wasn't there one that had Neil Patrick Harris as Spider-Man?
Yeah, that was the 90s MTV one.
Oh, right. A lot of Spider-Man cartoons. And something called Star Trek Lower Decks. Never heard of it.
Nope.
Steve, now that we have Patreon and Patreon subscribers, we could probably go back to Lower Decks.
I would love to go on a whole like deep dive of Star Trek, actually.
I know, and I want to do that, but that's very time consuming.
Indeed, yeah.
He also wrote for College Humor, one of the websites I used to frequent when I went to college. But after I got to college, I stopped looking because I don't think I'm allowed to.
You're not.
Yeah. He also worked for that offshoot Dropout TV, including that show Game Changer.
Which I watch.
Oh, yeah. Do they change a lot of games?
They do. Parcheesi will never be the same.
I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't play Parcheesi.
You can probably play Parmesan, because I think there's no rennet in it.
I know this is like a household like knowledge, everyone knows this, but he also won a Howling contest with a homemade costume by which he appeared to be a scientist riding on Frankenstein's shoulders. I mean, everyone knew that, right?
Of course, yeah.
He's also one of the founders of Scroty Ball, which was popular at the Hamptons Roads Academy in 2002 to 2003, so only for a year is popular. But, like I said, the extensive list of Simpsons episodes he wrote include Beware My Cheating Bart, which is this episode that we're reviewing, and that's it.
Oh.
Yeah. Rumor has it that the only reason why he wrote this episode was to get to know Shauna, and Shauna reported his misconduct to Lenny, because she got to know Lenny on the set, and then Lenny's like, that's not cool, so Lenny told Carl, and Carl's like, yeah, I'm going to talk to Homer about this, but Homer was on vacation at the time when they were shooting their scenes. So Lenny ended up telling Marcus Nellbottom, which of course that is Bart Simpson's real name. That Bart Simpson's his nom de plume.
Right.
Yeah, it's a stage name.
Of course.
And Bart was like, whoa, man, that's not cool. Then he told Al Jean, and Al Jean went to Ben and had him shot off into outer space, where he met Patrick Stewart and Jonathan Frakes and the rest of Star Trek.
The rest of Star Trek.
Yes.
From Kirk to Odo? Is that a person?
Yeah, Odo. Well, you watch Deep Space Nine, you'll find out.
Yeah.
But I'm making this all up, Steve. I don't know if he was... This is probably one of those, like, he wrote a script and they liked it and they bought it, right?
Yeah, I think that he did, looking at his career, he's done a lot of children's programming. And so, yeah, I think he's just probably a working writer trying to find that gig, and he mostly sticks with Dropout TV. But yeah, welcome to the show, Ben. And I do have to say about Dropout TV, I think of all, like, the humor websites that we looked at in the early 2000s, like your Crack.com, your The Chive, or whatever, College Humor has brought out the most good things without being problematic, because you have the whole HeadGum Studio, which seems to be good. Dropout TV, which brings home to a lot of improvisers, and it gives a job for Ben Joseph. So good on you, Jake and Amir, and the rest.
All those head gum hunks.
That's right.
Well, Steve, should we begin the episode?
I suppose we should. And we have a title gag. Actually, we have two title gags. The one that we see on Disney Plus and the rest of the world, it's Otto driving a school bus across the screen in kind of a hallucinatory kind of way, going crazy like he's on drugs, saying, "Whoa, trippy." But in the original airing, it says, "Now entering Oregon."
Steve, I might happen to have a illegal download of an airing of that episode, and yes, indeed, it says, "Now entering Oregon." That's really funny. But surely the Billboard gag is the same on yours as it is on mine. Mine says, Fox, 25 years of televised stuff.
It sure is, and don't call me Shirley.
I like the, it's just like we televised stuff. Not quality.
No, just things, like, we're airing things.
The only great show that Fox ever produced was the Chevy Chase Show.
Let's not forget Parker Lewis Can't Lose.
Oh, and Futurama.
Oh, yeah, that show.
How about a chalkboard gag? I got one here. What do you have?
I have teacher does not have to pay an ugly tax.
Well, I have the true location of Springfield is any state but yours, which is a conundrum for my copy because it says you're now entering Oregon, and then I see this. So what am I doing? My head explodes.
It's weird that those two were on the original airing, and the alternates were on the ever after because, yeah, it is confusing. Like, is it Oregon? Because that's my state, but it's not my state. It's a paradox. It's very confusing for boats. They don't know where to park.
What state is Michael Ian Black's?
Probably the East Coast. I'd imagine like Boston or something.
I'm trying to think of people from the state.
Oh, yeah.
I kept saying the state.
Carrie Kenny.
Yeah. Showalter, Michael Showalter.
Ken Marino. David Wayne.
But all of that culminates to a couch gag, and mine's a Bill Plimpton. Is yours?
I got a Plimpton too.
All right. Is the description for this couch gag longer than our description for the entire episode?
I do believe it is.
All right. Well, in Plimpton's trademark style, Homer sits with the rest of the family on the couch. He reminisces of his young days roller skating through a park when he gets distracted by the couch and bumps into a tree. And the couch catches him as he falls down. Later, Homer is skipping through meadows with the couch, and they go to a coffee shop and drink a milkshake together. The chefs laugh at the two, and they run away. Homer and the couch are then seen kissing in an alley. Actually, it's like, it's shown via their shadows on the wall. So a stray cat meows, startling them, and the two run away again. They are seen at a theater kissing, and a man tells them to shut up. They later have sex at the Sleazy Hotel, with the act again implied, as in the alley, via the shadows. Now, usually I don't pull trivia out on a couch gag, but according to all trivia on the internet, this is fact, not slander, right?
Yeah, it's not libel because it's not written.
Right. Yeah, it says, Vice President J.D. Vance sees this to be the sexiest thing he's ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah. Sex with a couch. Okay. I saw that J.D. Vance was in Disneyland this weekend. Sorry to put this episode into context of air date, but weren't like the Republicans all against like Disney and like their quote unquote wokeness, yet we see the vice president at Disneyland?
Yeah, it's a little confusing because I was under the impression that Disney went woke and then they got broke.
Yeah. This is like the equivalent of Kamala Harris going to Mar-a-Lago to golf.
Yeah. Just be really weird and like, can you imagine like walking through Disneyland with your kid and then you just see J.D. Vance? And it's like, ugh.
I just imagine he looks like one of those guys from Alice in Wonderland, like the rotund
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with eyeliner.
Yeah. My heart goes out to all the people who spent the thousands of dollars for that weekend, not knowing that he would be there, and it ruined their vacation.
Yeah. People haven't been that disappointed since he visited the Pope.
Oh, shit. Is Mickey gonna die?
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Do you think when J.D. Vance went on the Rise of the Resistance ride, the the Imperial people or First Order were like, oh, hey, look, it's our boss.
Yeah.
We look up to you, sir.
Palpatine, like, gave him a fist bump.
Yeah. Do you think when he went to the Hall of Presidents, even there, the animatronic Donald Trump left because he didn't want to be seen in the same room as them?
Yeah.
Okay, enough of our political jokes, because this is not a political podcast, Steve. Continue the couch gag.
All right, so later, Homer and the couch are strolling in the park, the couch, now pregnant, when Homer sees Marge throwing a flying disc, or frisbee. Distracted, Homer again walks into a tree, echoing the day he met the couch, but this time, Marge catches him. Homer and Marge go off together, and the couch is left behind in the park, crying its eyes out. Homer and Marge then get married as the couch looks through a window at the ceremony and sobs. Later, the couch knocks at Homer's door and shows him that he has a baby couch, and Homer tells it to go away. Then, in a montage of scenes, the couch goes through rough stages of life, including working as a pole dancer, being a prostitute or love seat, and Homer drives past on the street where the couch is working, getting thrown out of its apartment, and finally resorting to being a 5-cent chair to sit on. The couch gets depressed in the scene trying to commit suicide by jumping into a garbage truck as the baby couch watches. Bleak stuff. Homer happens on the scene, stops the couch, and brings it into his home. The couch is then seen with Homer and his family sitting on it. The couch smiles, and the view zooms out to show Maggie sitting on the baby couch.
So, we've seen a few of these Bill Plimpton couch gags.
Yes, there are a total of 6 of them, and this is the first of them.
How many more do we have to talk about?
I think about 4 more.
God damn it. All right.
But it kills time, because, we're 20 minutes in, and...
I'm a fan of Bill's daughter's work. Martha Plimpton. Are they related?
I don't think in any way, but she's great. Yeah, I like her a lot.
Well, Steve, our episode finally begins, as it always does, at the Springfield Mall, where the theater is showing crowd-pleasing cinema such as Cars 3, new merchandise, and Jackass, The Funeral. Was this before an actual Cars 3?
Yes, it was. I believe Cars 3 came out in 2015.
I actually saw the first Cars a few weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it wasn't. It was for me, not for my child.
Oh.
It was one of those, I guess people talk down on it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun, cute movie. Mater, he's one hell of a character, Steve.
Did he get it done?
Yeah. And then I watched a bunch of shorts that they did. They were cute. So I don't have anything against the Carsiverse.
I've never seen a Cars, but I got nothing against it. It's maybe not my demographic, but I'm sure it's great.
And Jackass: The Funeral. There's been 4 Jackass movies? 3, 4?
4.5, I think, because they did a bonus one for 3, I think. But yeah,
like that. I feel like those Jackass movies get funnier and funnier. It's funny. I never was a fan of the TV show, but the movies I think are pretty funny.
I remember watching the TV show way back in the day because I was going through my whole punk rock skateboarder phase. I still like punk rock, but it was an era.
You're not punk rock, Steve. Superman's punk rock.
Yeah, he is. He's pretty punk rock.
Well, you have to watch the new Superman movie to understand that reference. Spoilers.
I know there are people on the punk subreddit, which I'm a member of, have mentioned that Superman is punk rock, so...
Yes.
I know. And also sung by Goldfinger from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, also called Superman. So, yeah.
Tony Hawk, that old guy?
Mm-hmm.
It's in commercials?
Exactly.
Okay.
And The Simpsons.
All right. Well, Homer is trying to find an appropriate film for Bart and Milhouse to watch, and he walks by posters for flicks such as Switcheroo 2, which features a muscular man dressed in a ball gown and a woman in a suit wearing a mustache, and Horrible Premise, in which a football player is on the field wearing only a helmet with a diaper, and Transformers of the Caribbean. All right, Steve. Excluding Cars 3 and Jackass, The Funeral, out of those 3 posters, which one is getting your money?
Probably Horrible Premise. Just because I know it's not, but that guy on the poster looks a lot like John Cena, and at this point they'll just give it to John Cena, so yeah.
It really does look like John Cena. And Switcheroo 2, I haven't seen Switcheroo 1, so...
so you'd be lost.
Yeah. And I'm not a fan of the Transformers, as we heard last week or the week before. I wasn't a big Transformers fan. And the Pirates movies don't really, entice me, so that's not anything I'm interested in.
Yeah, and Why would you turn into a pirate when you could just turn into a boat?
Yeah. Well, I guess we could be dates for a horrible premise.
All right.
I'll do the old popcorn trick on you yet again.
Extra butter. I like it.
Yeah, the popcorn trick is I tell you to go get some popcorn and I'll pay you back, and I never do.
Ah.
And then I'll put my penis out in the theater.
Oh, yes. So Homer opts for Happy Elves 2, the sequel. As he goes to buy the tickets, Bart complains that the movie is for babies. Homer tells them that since he got them there alive, they can see whatever the hell they want. He leaves the boys to visit the only court he could not be held in contempt in, the food court.
Sitting among such eateries as the Picky Vegan, the Venetian Hut, Pizzeria Cheapo, and Phineas Q Butterfat's Ice Cream Parlor, or simply known as PQB's, Homer wipes his mouth after devouring several plates of food. In order to save calories, he decides not to eat the paper in the fortune cookie, which says, "Eat less, live longer, in bed."
Exactly. I'll have you know that I've never eaten the fortune in a fortune cookie because that's gross.
At first I thought, my brain's processing, I've never eaten a fortune cookie because they're gross.
I mean, they're not great.
Sometimes you can find a good one.
Yeah, but, like, other cookies exist.
I know, but look, you know my love of a simple, sweet dessert. I like a fortune cookie, and I would eat, like, a fortune cookie sheet as, like, a cracker. Yeah.
That does sound good.
It's just like a waffle cone for an ice cream cone.
I was just going to say, why isn't there a fortune cookie waffle cone, or ice cream cone? I think that would be good.
And then, when you get down to the bottom of the cone, there's a little piece of paper that says, a fortune.
I like it. Eat more ice cream.
Yeah.
So, after carelessly tossing the good advice from the cookie, Homer walks through them all, quickly finding himself out of breath. Conveniently, Homer runs out of steam in front of the sporting goods store Sports Palace, where an employee remarks that Homer is very close to death. The man then lifts Homer and plops him on an exercise ball, which he uses to bounce into the store. After bouncing a little too hard and crashing into the fluorescent light bulb, Homer receives a sales pitch.
Homer, can I call you Homer?
Sure, what's your name?
Well, I'm not required to tell you that. Homer, how long do you want to live?
Long enough that me and Marge can be one of those couples who just sit and hold hands. I heard Lenny had a terrible fall.
You know who else fell? Dr. Hibbert.
Yeah, falls will get you.
Well, I want to help you make it to that glorious day. For money, this is the Butt Whisperer 9000. Cushion track, hydration dock,
Gotta have that.
built-in HD TV,
Loving it.
dog walk side path,
I must.
liability opt-out button,
Keep 'em coming.
and drill sergeant mode.
Run, you maggot! Faster, you tumblelord!
It's programmed to my specifications. Oh, but I can't afford this.
Homer, you can't afford $300 a month?
No.
Well, what about $10 a day?
Easy.
Yeah, that's simple.
Oh, yeah, it's easy. Like,
I like how the employee says, Homer, can I call you Homer? Like, he has no indication that that's his name.
right, like, it was never introduced. It's just like, you're Homer. Can I call you Homer?
It's a very, like, subtle joke. If you weren't paying attention, you're going to miss it.
I also like that the Simpsons kind of predated the Peloton, because that's basically what it is, except for a walking thing with the TV in front of it. You ever buy, like, exercise equipment like that?
Well, not like that, but to be fair, like, that has existed since TV and exercise bikes. Like, I have a sit-down exercise bike that I never use, and there's stuff on it, because that's what, exercise equipment does, is you place stuff on it for storage.
It's a coat rack.
But it's funny, because this episode, when we get to it, reminded me when I was trying to, like, lose weight again, and it never worked. I would just sit on my exercise bike and just binge watch The Office.
Oh, yeah.
I would watch, like, 4 episodes of The Office and, like, call it good, but I feel like I never really got much of a workout. I'm just kind of going slow and just paying attention to the antics of Oscar and Meredith, the stars of The Office.
Ah, yes. The comedy milestones of The Office. Oscar and Meredith. Yeah, we recently brought a treadmill, and we used it, like, 3 times, and we, like, bought special shoes that we were only going to use, like, their exercise shoes, their Hokas, and we only used them on the treadmill. And then when we moved, we were just like, we're never going to use that treadmill. And so, yeah, that was like a couple $100. We felt guilty about it, so that's something.
Yeah, the only time like a treadmill really worked for me is when I started running, and this was probably, what year is this? Almost 20 years ago, Jesus. Because the old apartment we lived in had a workout room, and I would go and run on that treadmill, and then until I finally got the courage to go run outside because I was losing weight. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The good old days, Steve. We could drink all night and eat Taco Bell.
I mean, you still could, but...
I will probably die.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Bart walks out of the theater where he is greeted by Jimbo, Shauna, Kearney, and Dolph. Jimbo mockingly asks how crappy little Elves was, and Bart says that he and Milhouse only saw it to make fun of it. Milhouse then arrives decked out in happy little Elves gear. Bart whispers for him to take the kids' merchandise off, but Milhouse wants a photo first. Now, I'm not going to say the Simpsons did it, but I feel like merchandise for movies at theaters wasn't a thing when we were kids, but now it is.
Yeah, I think that with the exception of maybe like 89 Batman, I feel like they sold merchandise for that just because it was such a blockbuster thing, but yeah.
Like, I meant in the actual theater.
Right. I think that, yeah, now you have all those like popcorn bowls and whatnot and drink carriers that are like merchandise, and yeah, it's weird.
And that's like kind of saving cinema, is those popcorn buckets, because they're collector items.
Yeah, that's sad, actually.
I'm looking at two that I have. I have a Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters Afterlife and a Ghost Trap from Frozen Empire. So those are my... And I was at the theater for Superman. They had a bunch of... For every movie has one now. Like there was one for Karate Kid Legends that I was like, ooh, that's fun. It was like a board that you broke. And there was your popcorn. And they had a giant footprint, dinosaur footprint that is very... Not great, because it's like the size of bigger than a platter for the Jurassic Park movie. Like, how are you supposed to walk into the theater with this giant footprint with popcorn?
That is weird, yeah.
They did have a Jaws 50th anniversary Jaws shark head. I was kind of...
Oh, that's kind of cool, yeah.
But I'm getting to that age where, like, I don't want to collect anything, because, like, I want to, like... We've talked about it before, just, like, downsize, and you've downsized. I just want to, like, not see things that I'm like, I need to have that because it's a thing I like.
Right, and you kind of like look around and you're just like, I have a lot of plastic things.
Yeah, it's tough because when I saw those new Simpsons action figures at like Walmart, and they're like $10, like, this is cheap. I can have an entire Simpsons family playset right now.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Good for you.
No. I'm just going to give all my toys that to my kid, right? Like, why do I have all these Ghostbusters and Spider-Man toys? I don't like that shit, Dad. All right.
So that was Shauna that we saw, and this is her 5th official appearance. Her first being the episode that we actually reviewed last week, The Good, the Sad, and the Drugly.
Whoa. Wait a second. Stop the clock. Last week I said, is this the first appearance of Shauna? And you're like, nah, probably not. So you lied to me.
I didn't lie. I was wrong. I was stupid, not dishonest.
I'm surprised our Patreon listeners haven't unsubscribed for your blunder.
Well, now that you pointed it out, I'm sure they will.
So, but that makes sense last week because she was all like, I'm Shauna. That's me. Shauna.
Yeah.
All right.
She did appear one time before that, but just like in a crowd or whatever. And she's been on the show too many times to count after that. But yeah, so this is like her first big episode, though.
We're in the Shauna era.
The Shaunera, yes.
All right.
I love Shannara bread. The bullies are excited to watch a delightful remake of the Hong Kong horror film Crawlspace, based on Paxing Kong Jiao, which is a proper translation of the word crawlspace. But Shauna informs Jimbo that she's not interested in the film, and the accompanying comments about how every chick in the film got what was coming to them. Jimbo offers a counter to his romantic interest, saying that if they don't watch movies about torture in crawlspaces, how will they know what to do if they find themselves in a said torture crawlspace? Kearney adds, not if, but when.
Shauna chooses a romantic comedy instead, specifically one where Jennifer Aniston rolls her eyes on the poster, entitled All the Wrong Reasons. That doesn't sound like a parody title. That sounds like a real title.
Yeah, it could very well be.
Jimbo is uncomfortable with Shauna watching a movie by herself, since she is, as he puts it, a total perv magnet. She's touched by his misogynistic chivalry, and allows Jimbo to find someone non-threatening to act as her escort. Jimbo considers Milhouse, but Shauna reminds her boyfriend that her chaperones cannot be humiliating, And Milhouse is self-aware enough to accept his fate.
So Jimbo then looks to Bart, examining his lack of starter stash, the temporary tattoo on his arm of Krusty saying, "Maybe toxic," and the fact that he still has baby teeth at 9 and 24. Deciding that Bart is a total pre-puber, Jimbo tells Bart to stay close to Shauna, warning him that someone so much as peels a ladybug decal off her fake fingernails, it'll be Bart's fault. And Kearney is eager to find seats, since the first murder is always the best, leaving Shauna and Bart to watch their romantic comedy, followed by lunch at the Brown Burrito.
Oh, are you telling me the real reason you started dating me was so you could buy my flower shop?
Yes, your lease was the last thing stopping me from tearing this place down and building the biggest horse crematorium in Manhattan, but none of that matters now.
All right, we've seen his ass. Let's go.
Hey, I can hook you up with pinto and black beans.
Well, I'll do anything for free beans. Anything.
Hey, name tag. Do you know who her boyfriend is? Jimbo Jones.
I gotta go sort tortillas. Corn, flour, corn, corn, no gluten, corn, two stuck together. Oh, now I gotta fill out a form.
Listen, lady, you do not two-time the man with the skull t-shirt.
Jimbo doesn't care about me. He didn't even notice my side braid.
Ooh, that is cool. Looks like two snakes trying to kill each other on your head.
That's what I was going for. You know, for a second grader, you're pretty sharp.
I'm actually in 4th grade, but I read at a 2nd grade level.
Oh, Bart and I have something in common.
You both like hair braids, and you can't read good.
Me read good, fine.
Speaking of reading, and when Bart calls that guy, "Hey, name tag," looking at his name tag, it's Steve, like me. The Squeaky Voice team is normally known as Jeremy Friedman, but he's also been known as Mr. Peterson and Andrew Teen.
Well, remember our theory is all teen boys look the same in Springfield, so they're all different characters.
Right, yeah.
Just one of the little interesting is the wrong word, just one little theory that the annoyed Grump Boys have.
Yes, we're good at those.
Yeah,
things.
Stupid stuff. So, yeah, I figured, Steve wouldn't know that Shauna's with Jimbo.
No, I mean, because it's confusing how old they are and how old Steve is. So they're either in high school, middle school, or elementary school. Who knows?
Yeah, they either date Jimbo, he's not a 4th grader.
No.
Could be 5th grade.
I always assume that Springfield Elementary went up to 6th grade, and then there's a junior high, and so he's probably in 6th grade. But who knows?
But held back multiple times because
he
should be the same age as Otto.
Right.
Or at least Kearney. We've talked about this before. It's a mystery wrapped in a conundrum, tied in a Pandora's box. Bart's literacy issues may be a problem, but he and Shauna are interrupted by the bullies who just finished Crawl Space. The movie left Kearney especially frightened since he has to clean his own crawl space the following day. Homer, fresh from buying the Butt Whisperer 9000 exercise machine, tells Bart it's time to go. He saved a ton of money by waiving that delivery charge. But when he goes to move it, the box falls on top of him.
So before Bart leaves, Jimbo forcibly informs him that he has another date with Shauna the next day, and she playfully winks at Bart. So Jimbo and his pals are going to be busy attending the seminar, Extracting Money from a Cashless Society, where they plan to rob the guy running the talk. Shauna is sure she and Bart can find something to occupy their time. Meanwhile, Homer, still trapped under his new purchase, pulls a straw under the box so he can take a sip, saying that moment couldn't get any better.
So back in the basement of 742 Evergreen Terrace, Homer is working out on his newly installed Butt Whisperer 9000 when he notices that his armpits are getting wet.
Oh.
Lisa walks down and notices that the TV attached to the exercise machine is connected to the internet, meaning Homer can stream whole seasons of old television. Homer looks through the menu, commenting on shows such as
Thicker Than Waters, which seems to be a sitcom about a golfer and his two boys who enjoy sword fighting, which Homer's seen.
Admiral Baby, which is a nice callback, and Homer's also seen that.
Alaska, Nebraska, a Hannah Montana parody, which Homer has also seen.
Ice Road Joggers, and Homer thinks the British version was better.
Keeping Up with the Kristofskis, which is totally scripted.
The Simpsons, which Homer sued.
Well, so which one are you going to watch?
Oh, I mean, it's got to be the Simpsons, right?
Yeah, I mean, chimps are funny, the Simpsons are funny. Seems like a perfect match.
Yeah.
So Homer then sees the show Stranded, which he may have missed when it first aired, but Lisa isn't lost on it.
Stranded? What's that?
Stranded was a show about people marooned on a mysterious island that's riddled with religious and scientific paradoxes. It was huge. Well, the first season and the last season.
Well, islands are always entertaining. From Gilligan to Iwo Jima. Ah! A plane crash! Wait a minute. That flashback raised more questions than it answered.
Oh my God! Inside the coconut, my pet cat from when I was little. And on his name tag is the number of our flight.
Purgatory.
Where are we?
What a great opening episode! And I'm sure everything they said will pay off handsomely.
Lost. I don't know if we've talked about it, but I actually watched Lost for the first time last year, and I know that it got a lot of complaints about, its continuity and the questions, but I thoroughly enjoyed the show, and I think all in all, it was a success.
If you're watching Lost now, maybe it seems more satisfying. I'm not sure because I didn't watch it when it aired, because I know a lot of people at that time were always frustrated, and it was such the water cooler talk, because you gotta remember, when Lost was on, we didn't have streaming. We just started having DVDs and the Netflix DVD subscription thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think now, especially in streaming, you can binge like a whole season in like a couple days. So you don't have to wait like that summer and then for like a new season, and you're building up so much anticipation for what something means or what happens to characters, and you're not as disappointed, I think, when you're watching it now. I didn't watch it when it aired. I waited till the streaming, or no, the non-streaming days, the DVD rental. So I would, get the Netflix DVD, watch the 4 episodes, send the disc, get the next, so I was binging it slower than I can now with streaming, but still, it didn't bother me. The ending didn't bother me as much as it bothered people when it first aired.
Yeah. I think season 5 gets a little clumsy with their ideas, but overall, I think it's a good show. And yeah, I think you're right, because also at the time you had a limited number of shows that you could watch, so you put all of your dedication into that show to be good. So if it wasn't, you'd be more angry. And now, if something's not good, you just watch one of the million other shows that is on. So yeah.
Yeah. Too many options today. And I've said it before, I can't wait till current shows that I'm watching, especially the hour dramas, till they're done or canceled, so I don't have to worry about watching them again.
Yeah, it's like in real life when you have plans and somebody cancels and you get a sense of relief. That's how I feel now when a show is canceled. Sure, I'm sad that people are losing their jobs and the show isn't on anymore, but that's one less thing that I have to watch, so it's a win-win for me.
You're just hoping that HBO says, you know what, let's not do any more Game of Thrones shows, so you'll be happy and you don't have to watch that ever again, right?
I mean, yeah. I think that, the world is given up on Harry Potter, hopefully, so that show probably won't last too long.
But the thing is, I'm going to watch it. I know I'm going to. I know we say J.K. Rowling's a piece of shit, and she is. Mm-hmm. But this was created before we knew she was a horrible person, not after.
Yeah, that's true.
So now every time I say not Penny's boat, you understand what I am referencing.
I do.
And you cry every time.
I do. Charlie!
Homer puts a lawn chair on his new treadmill, allowing himself to be more comfortable while watching his prestige television. Meanwhile, back at Springfield Mall, Bart joins Shauna at a skincare store, Creme de la Creams, and Bart is making faces in the vanity mirror when he sees Shauna swipe a bottle of perfume and puts it in her purse.
So Shauna grabs Bart's arm and leads him out of the store, telling him not to look guilty. As they leave, they set off the doorway alarm, and a mall cop on a scooter, or a blurt, as I call them, asks to look into Shauna's purse. Shauna says that she didn't steal nothing, and Bart is reminded of Jimbo's threat. In a thought bubble, Jimbo appears, telling Bart that if anything happens to Shauna, he will beat Bart up from inside his own brain.
After receiving a mental punch from Jimbo, Bart grabs the perfume from Shauna's purse and tells the guard that he stole it. Guard is doubtful, but Bart swears he uses it all the time and sprays it into his throat. and it warms up his voice, saying, me, 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 me. And the cop replies by informing Bart, you, and I are taking a trip to mall jail. Bart remembers when the jail was a Beanie Baby store.
And then it was a Funko Pop store, and now it's home to several raccoon families because malls are dead.
Maybe your mall, Steve. My mall's still alive.
Oh, the Westfield in Vancouver is still thriving?
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
There's weekly shootings. It's great.
Hey! I won't say what it was called when I was in high school, but it also had a name that was not so great. With an explosion, Bart escapes from the mall holding, still handcuffed to an office chair. Shauna wills him away, pleased that Bart took a fall for her. She's especially touched since no one has ever done anything nice for her. But the sweet moment is interrupted when they are chased by the mall cop on a Segway. But Bart isn't concerned as he's popped one of the tires on the scooter, causing the Blart to spin in circles. He would go after them on foot if only he remembered how to use his legs.
Is it weird that Bart is helping Jimbo, which we have seen Jimbo try to steal Bart's girlfriend, way back when Bart thought he was with, what was her name? Melissa Gilbert. No, Sarah Gilbert. One of the Gilberts.
Ruth Powers Jr.
Yes, Ruth Powers. And he tried to have Jimbo killed by Mo.
Yeah, it is a little weird, but I feel like it's the threat of abuse that keeps him going.
Oh, yeah. I did like it when the thought bubble did punch him.
Yeah.
That was great.
I do think, though, that it's kind of funny that both Jimbo and Bart kind of have a type, because Laura Powers and Shauna, they're not exactly disparate. Like, they're both, tough brunettes with a heart of gold.
Yeah, well, we'll rank up Bart's girlfriends at the end of Bart's Summer, Steve. So
okay.
Keep that in mind that you're going to have to, not us ranking them, but ranking them for Bart.
Right.
Okay.
So we're going to rate the love life of a 10-year-old, not the 10-year-olds that he was dating.
Right.
Cool. Okay.
But, I mean, we know, like, Shauna's probably of age.
Yeah. Well, she's got a tattoo.
I know, and she's voiced by Tress MacNeille. And Tress MacNeille is older than us.
Then it's fine.
Well, Shauna leads Bart to an abandoned store, which Bart recognizes as the first place Maggie was lost. For his kindness, Shauna gives Bart a gift. He wonders aloud what a girl could possibly have that he could want. Just then, Shauna lifts up her shirt, exposing her breasts. Bart stares, dumbfounded, thinking to himself that it looks just like Homer's. Shauna kisses Bart on the cheek, not the butt cheek, Steve, the normal cheek, your face cheek, and runs off, leaving his mouth agape and his hammer hard as steel.
Oh boy. Yeah, one would assume. Don't want to eat those shorts because you'll chip a tooth. Back at home, Bart is still in the shade-up state of shock. While eating dinner, Marge comments that he hasn't had any of his mashed potatoes, and his close encounter of the titty kind has made his taters look more like tatas. Grandpa asks if he would like more breast, and Bart covers his plate in embarrassment. Abe simply explains that he's offering Bart a chicken breast, and then calls him a boob. Bart wonders if anyone realizes that he's only 10 years old. Marge then offers him dessert, cookies with a Hershey's Kiss in the middle, that kind of resembles a nipple. Bart declines that sweet treat, saying that he's just not ready for cookies. I, however, am.
I love that line Bart gives of, does not anyone realize that he's only 10? I feel like that was just a line that was in the writer's room.
Mm-hmm.
For this plot that is, Bart seeing boobs for the first time, and someone in the writer's room was like, he's only 10 years old. Should we really be doing this?
Like, you make a good point. Let's use that.
Yeah. maybe it was Nancy just reading the script.
Yeah.
But you gotta have boob pun jokes, so this is a fun scene.
Yeah, it is. I think that the potatoes and the chicken breast, like, it's all very well done. Like, you could easily just do the chicken breast joke, and that would be just fine.
Yeah.
But, like, getting, like, the potatoes and the cookie, like, it's a nice, like, addition.
But don't forget, they've already done a boob food joke way back when there was cupcakes, and it looked like Bart was going to grab boobs.
Oh, yeah, all Clockwork Orange, yeah.
Yes.
He's a boob man.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
He's a boob man.
Yes, thank you. So, Homer tells the family that he has to return to the treadmill and then chuckles to himself as he grabs a bag of chips and a six-pack of Duff. And Marge remarks that he's been working out so much lately, but it still looks the same. She assumes that all the weight will just come off at once in the near future. Abe is skeptical of his son, recalling that Homer's first word was a lie.
So we go to a flashback, and Abe discovers that someone has drawn all over the walls. He asks a very large Homer, who's a toddler, who committed the act, and Homer says, "Mommy." Hearing this, Abe decides that he's going to withhold attention from Mona without any explanation why.
I love the flashback scene. It's good.
Yeah. Homer's just so, clunky. He's so funny looking because he's so big, but he's a toddler.
Yeah. Well, back in present day, Homer is in his sweats sitting on the treadmill lawn chair, enjoying some pistachios, and Homer stays glued to the TV, while behind him, a pile of nutshells, whole fish bones, a wine bottle, and Homer himself accumulates. As we'll hear in this clip, the mysteries of Stranded have left Homer awestruck.
Don't believe anything you were told by me in the past, because that was not me.
But this is me now. But in less than a second, I'll be gone forever.
I might be back!
The lava being! That's why they showed a clip of it on previously on...
Homer! You're using your expensive new treadmill just to watch a show that went off the air 5 years ago? And when I wanted to watch it with you then, you said it was pretentious and repetitive.
Marge, there's so many mysteries I need to have solved. Now, if the Korean couple can't speak English, why were they doing a crossword puzzle where the answer to 23 down was enigma spelled backwards? What does it mean?
It means use the treadmill for running, or take it back.
And where will I watch TV?
On the TV.
And where will I walk?
On the ground.
And where...
This is the stupidest fight ever.
We've had stupider.
I don't think so.
I think the voice acting there from Julie is this is the stupidest argument
Yeah.
ever. It's really well done.
It's classic Homer Marge stuff. And I just like that Homer has, his notes out, and, he's so into the show now, but when it was on 5 years ago, he couldn't care less, and I feel like when I was first dating Laura, that's how I felt about Lost, and I was wrong.
So, your wife, Laura, had already seen Lost.
Not only had she seen it, she actually grew up miles away from where it was filmed, and so she would see the cast and crew frequently around her town.
Was Matthew Fox seen frequently passed out on her lawn?
Yes, right next to Michelle Rodriguez.
Wasn't there Matthew Fox who played Dr. Jack Shepherd, if as I recall? Didn't he get in trouble for drinking a lot and getting
most of the crew did. He did. Michelle Rodriguez. I think Hurley got in trouble. It was a tough filming time, I think, and they drank a lot.
Now they probably had to get a lot of vaccines before filming in Hawaii. Did Evangeline Lilly take those shots?
Weirdly, she didn't.
Did Dominic Monaghan? Did he show you his one ring?
He did, and Hugo said that his character should be the name of a Weezer album. Hurley.
Of course you're going to watch a show that's filming down the street from you, right? And on TV. But I doubt your wife watches the reboot of Magnum.
No, she's never seen an episode. Actually, I feel like at one point we were flipping through the TV and it was just happened to be on. We didn't look for it. And she's like, "Oh, I went to high school with some guy that was on the show."
Yeah.
And that was it. And then we never watched it again. So yeah.
She went to high school with Rick?
Yep. Why? She's such a good helicopter pilot.
No, that was TC.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Look, I grew up watching the original Magnum, but when they were rebooting it, I have no desire to ever watch an episode.
I mean, first of all, it seems so, it's ensconced in the 80s. I mean, aside from, the Vietnam stuff, it just feels like Magnum P.I. as, a sex symbol, and just the whole dynamic of the show is very much of that time. And I don't know how it would work, but it doesn't seem to be good for modern era.
I feel like it's almost time for a rewatch of the original Magnum. I just want to click on an episode.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there was an episode where he dressed like Indiana Jones, and I kind of want to watch that one because famously Tom Selleck was supposed to be Indiana Jones, but CBS would have let him out of his contract for a summer or when they were shooting Raiders, so that's why they went with second choice Harrison Ford. Which whatever happened to that guy's career, Harrison Ford, no one knows.
He was never on Friends.
He was never Blue Blood.
He never pissed off Rosie O'Donnell.
He was never in those Joss Stone made-for-TV or DVD movies that you see in the airport or 7-Elevens for $5.99.
He never sold reverse mortgages.
He never supported Trump.
Let's hear it for Harrison Ford.
Woo!
That old pothead's doing something right.
Happy belated birthday. It was his birthday as of yesterday, Steve. He turned 83.
Wow.
If I look like Harrison Ford at 83, I'm doing something right.
Yeah, because you're a Hulk. Isn't he a Hulk now?
Yeah, he's a Red Hulk.
Okay. I thought he would have been more of a Blue Hulk.
In fact, Harrison Ford, he's with us today. So, Harrison, how you doing? Callista.
That's great, Harrison. Yeah.
All right, can we just continue the episode, Harrison? Chewie!
All right. Be sure to watch Shrinking on Apple TV.
Jason Segal's penis. All right. Thanks, Harrison. Go away.
So,
it was also my birthday yesterday, too. Make it so, number one.
oh, sorry, Pat. Sure, you had some cake with Ian and it was all fun.
I celebrate Bastille Day now. Because he's French.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right. Continue the damn show, Steve. Stop interrupting us.
I'm so sorry. On the playground of Springfield Elementary, Jimbo tells Bartholomew that he did a sweet job watching his woman. So after a quick make-out sesh, Jimbo leaves Shauna alone with Bart. When asked what he wants to do, Bart tells Shauna that what he'd like to do is push her in the puddle and run away. Shauna wonders if she should stay faithful with Jimbo, especially since he's given her a lot of gum recently. Knowing that it may result in a wedgie, Bart tells Shauna that Jimbo is a jerk and that he could do better. She's once again touched that he did a kind act for her, especially when it could endanger his own life. So Jimbo returns for a quick goodbye grope, but as he feels up Shauna, she rubs Bart's head.
That's his head on top of his head, not his penis head, Steve.
Yeah, and it's also kind of funny that for 2 weeks in a row we have a bully equating gum with sex, because last week we had Nelson giving Bart a piece of gum as or a condom.
And we establish in canon that I eat flavored condoms as gum.
That's right, just like the Coneheads.
So, while enjoying a large tub of bottom-of-barrel kettle corn, Homer watches Stranded with his notebook open, excited for an episode that will finally answer at least one question.
So just when there's about to be a big reveal, Marge calls to Homer. She stands in the doorway of the garage in a sexy robe, saying that the kids are away and Maggie is napping. Homer's excited, but asks if the sex could wait another 104 hours. So Homer continues to watch the show, wondering what it meant when Marge slammed the door and walked away. Homer shouts that if she meant that she's mad, which Homer thinks is a first thought answer. There's a little clip in there where they're showing Stranded, and there's a strange writing on a wall, or on a mountain wall, and it says, in the Futurama language, watch Futurama Thursdays at 10 in that alien alphabet, and that's a reference, of course, to Futurama being on Thursday nights on Comedy Central in seasons 21 and 22.
We'll have to watch that episode on our Patreon.
That's right.
To confirm. So, Shauna and Bart start spending more time together, hanging outside of the school gym where Shauna uses Bart's hair spikes as a cigarette holder so she can give him a kiss. They then put a tie on Principal Skinner's office to signify that it's occupied while they make out. And seeing that Seymour respectfully sits outside the office until they are done. Gotta say, that could be one of my favorite scenes. It's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
The montage of the couple continues with Bart speeding down the road in a convertible, Shauna at his side, and they zoom past a cop car, and Wiggum decides to let Ralph handle it. So Ralph gets behind the wheel and then proceeds to run into a tree. Maybe dead.
Rest in peace, Ralph. So at Wally Weasel's, which is nothing like Chuck E. Cheese's, Bart and Shauna wear disguises to hide their illicit affair, playing Whack-A-Weasel until Shauna wins a large stuffed giraffe. And at Underage Night at Moe's, Bart is awestruck by seeing a limb of Shauna's, a la The Graduate. But the camera zooms out to show that it's actually her arm, and that she's playing pool. And in another iconic Dustin Hoffman movie reference, Bart plays Joe Buck to Milhouse's Ratso Rizzo from Midnight Cowboy crossing a busy New York street, and when a cab nearly runs him over, Milhouse does his whole "I'm walking here," and the cab drives off, and then goes into reverse, running over Milhouse, also killing him.
I've never seen Midnight Cowboy, but I understood that reference.
Me too. It's funny.
So there's a character named Joe Buck, but I know Joe Buck as a sports commentator. So did Joe Buck's dad name Joe after the character from Midnight Cowboy?
I assume so. He's like, my son's going to be a male prostitute or a sportscaster.
And I like how the Muppets, I always know the Rizzo the Rat, so they just named the character after a movie about a male prostitute.
Yeah. There was another character that briefly lived called Throat Deep. Doesn't get rid of him.
You know what's funny is, like, you don't have to see Midnight Cowboy to understand that's the reference. Mm-hmm. But, like, the animation was kind of like, it almost looked like they just animated over Dustin Hoffman and John Voight's daughter's dad. His name is Angelina Jolie's dad, John Voight. Mm-hmm. It just kind of looked like natural walking and not like cartoon walking. You know what I mean? It looked like he was practicing. And I love that the cab came back to run over my house. It was very funny. And all the other movie references. Dustin Hoffman. It's so funny, like, was Dustin Hoffman supposed to be considered a Hollywood hunk? Because, like, he was considered for the role of Superman back in 1978.
Huh.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny to think about.
He's like 5'2". Superman's not 5'2".
Yeah, and I just think about, like, the first movie I ever saw Dustin Hoffman in, which was Rain Man. And that's not, I mean, he's got a super brain, kind of. But, yeah, it's weird to think about him as a hunk.
Yeah, I guess the only positive, if Dustin Hoffman was Superman, he probably would have killed the horse that kicked him off and not paralyze him.
That'd be just his luck.
Well, is that a reference no one will get?
Probably.
All right.
I was trying to think of a joke about how he played Jerry Seinfeld's neighbor who fought himself, so that's just as fine.
Well, in the public swimming pool, Bart and Shauna hold hands and kiss underwater. And Jimbo pulls Bart out of the water by the shorts, complaining about his lack of respect. Bart wonders who would wear a wool beanie to the pool. Then Jimbo throws off his toque, revealing his bald head. Bart cracks up laughing, saying that his baldness is hilarious. Now, is this the first time we've seen Jimbo and his bald head, Steve? Now, don't let our fans down.
Yes, it is. They do make reference to it other times, but this is the first time we reveal his baldness, and just as a personal note, baldness, not hilarious.
I don't know, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I guess so. Kearney and Dolph constrict Bart with pool noodles, allowing Jimbo to beat him senselessly. A nearby lifeguard blows his whistle, saying no horseplay, and Jimbo responds that it isn't horseplay, but rather serious payback. The lifeguard nervously reviews the posted pool rules, realizing that Jimbo may have just found a loophole. The pool attendant calls fellow lifeguard Abby for guidance, but she assumes that he just wants to swap shifts.
So while they squabble over their shifts, the bullies are ready to unleash their carnage on Bart. So he runs away, and when the lifeguard tries to stop him, Bart yells that he's actually on the grass apron, and the lifeguard once again checks the pool rules, upset that everyone seems to be a pool lawyer. Pool Lawyer, coming soon to Fox.
Ooh, I'd watch that for an episode.
It's still gonna, star Joel McHale.
Yeah, probably. And Abed would be there too for some reason.
Steve Abed has a name, Danny Pudi.
Yes, that's right. Danny Pudi, sorry, Abed. This is a very minor thing, but when Jimbo pulls Bart out of the pool and he's shivering, it harkens back to, season 1 or season 2 Simpsons, when Bart is, shivering. I don't know, it just, looked like old school Simpsons. It was kind of neat to see. Having made his escape, Bart leaps over a fence and runs through someone's backyard, over another fence, sneaking behind a tree, and through some bushes. Maybe a Ferris Bueller reference? So he finds a slide, goes up it, and then goes down it again. He peeks over that fence into his own backyard, where he sees Jimbo and his cronies occupying his treehouse, awaiting his return. As Jimbo emerges from the sandbox, Marge comes out, which Bart hopes will bring him some relief.
Oh, thank God. Mom will pound them.
Why, if it isn't Jimbo, Dorf, and Ernie. Dorf. Bart's not home yet, but I'm always looking to encourage non-Millhouse playdates. Stick around.
Oh.
Hey, Bart.
Oh, it's you.
Why do men always think with their tongue? I came to help you.
Then go back to Jimbo and show him every boob you've got.
But you told me he was a jerk and that I could do better.
Oh. All right. Follow me to a place where nerds, dorks, and dweebs can gather in safety.
This isn't like some creepy place under an off-ramp.
Okay, we'll go to my second choice.
Now you be careful with Bart's undies.
We will, Mrs. Simpson.
Think of this as your personal Asgard, and I, the all-seeing Heimdall, guardian of the gate.
All-seeing? Yeah, when's the last time you saw your feet?
I love Marge getting the bullies' names wrong.
But she knows Jimbo.
Yeah. But is the sandbox quicksand a reference to the Simpsons movie?
You know what? I think it could be. Because, of course, Homer sinks in and he goes out the other side. So, yeah, that's a good point. 5 years? Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. I'll allow it.
Watch yourself, Commissioner.
So, after being insulted by Shauna, comic book guy calls his fellow bullies, informing them of Bart and Shauna's location. Dolph, Jimbo, and Kearney are headed to the comic book shop as soon as they are done cleaning Marge and Homer's bedroom. I still like how they're cleaning. I also like that for the clip too, them holding Bart's underwear and making sure they don't do anything with it.
Mm-hmm. They're very tiny underwear too.
Yeah, well, maybe he likes a tight fit.
It'll show off his hammer a bit more, I guess.
I figure like a tighter fit would conceal it more, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, I guess so, but like maybe it would seem like it was bigger because the pants were shorter.
Do you ever wear compression shorts, or have you worn compression shorts?
I have not.
Yeah, they're very restricting, and some people that I don't know, maybe have big thighs and their inner thighs rub and create rashes. Maybe it helps them not get that.
I get that.
I don't know why I would know that, Steve. I'm very fit and thin.
Mm-hmm.
So Bart is surprised to find comic book guy is a bully, and he explains that he's a cyber bully because it's important that anything he does is done lying down. He and Shauna engage in a flame war, but comic book guy is no match for a teenage girl. As he remarks, she has cloven him from his ponytail to his slipper shoe. He kicks them out of the shop unless they are interested in purchasing old Archie comics, 20-pound bricks for $1. He calls her a teenage girl, so we know she's at least 13.
Yeah, 13 to 18, or 13 to 19, I guess. Those are the teenage years, by the way.
Yes, thank you. She's not 20-teen?
No, and she's not a 12-teen.
Okay. Steve, I actually read an Archie comic this last week.
Ooh.
It was pretty good. It was called Archie Meets Jay and Silent Bob.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's funny because, it's not for kids. It's still the Kevin Smith vernacular with swearing and sex jokes, but towards Archie and the gang of Riverdale. Riverdale is not.
Do the Riverdale gang, do they join in on the profanity, or are they, taken aback by it?
Yeah, they're taken back by it. They don't join in the profanity, yeah.
You don't have, Jughead saying snoochie boochies or anything?
No. He's not like the Click Commander in this comic book. But it does take place after the film Clerks 3, so maybe it's canon, but I won't spoil it, but Randall has to find a new employee, and he hires Archie.
Oh, okay.
There's kind of a funny scene because, do you remember the movie Clerks, Steve?
I've seen it once or twice, yeah.
Do you know how in the movie Clerks, Veronica brought Dante lasagna?
Yes.
Well, in this one, Veronica from Riverdale brings Archie homemade lasagna.
That is worth the price of the comic book right there. That's a great joke.
But Betty does not fuck a dead dude in the bathroom.
Well, then I'm returning my comic book, because that's also what I wanted.
I wouldn't put it past Kevin Smith, he really wanted to do that, but the people at Archie Comics we can't have Betty fuck a dead dude, sorry.
They already did that with Punisher. Can't happen again.
Betty fucked the Punisher's dead wife?
Yep.
Wow. Bloody.
Castle's Moat is what he called it.
Jesus.
So that evening, Homer invites Moe, Lenny, Carl, and Barney over for a stranded discussion group. Homer's eager for a deep dive into the show, or at least what he's seen of it so far.
Hey, I love that show. Wasn't it awesome when Colonel Darkwater...
Spoiler alert! I've only seen up to Season 3, Episode 17, Coconut Cream Dye.
So you don't know that Season 5 was a complete wank?
Spoiler!
Homer, calm down. It's not like any of this stuff really took place.
Spoiler!
Homer, for God's sakes, I'm trying to put Maggie to sleep.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. It's a Strandy discussion group. Yes, it is. We discuss why airplane go crash, but people don't die.
You want to know what happens on your stupid show? Firstly, the mysterious island is 15 miles from Long Beach. Also, Throwaway 3 led to hell, despite the series creators' repeated insistence it did not lead to hell. And the entire Strandiverse is a piece of gravel in a cosmic kitty litter box.
Thanks, Marge. You ruined my show. Now I'm gonna give you a spoiler about our marriage. It's not great right now.
Oh, man. I've never seen a Simpsons episode where I feel like Homer and Marge's marriage is on the rocks.
It's kind of funny, too, because this is like the first episode that Homer acknowledges that their marriage isn't great because of a TV show.
But yeah, it's always Marge, too. That's like, our marriage sucks. Why am I in it?
Yeah, like, he's exploited her. He's, like, blamed her for drunk driving, cost the family money, like, put them in danger. But he realizes that because she spoiled the TV show, their marriage is in trouble.
She kind of references, like, a season not being good like you did with Lost.
Yeah, season 5, it's just weird.
I don't remember much of Lost, so I think it's okay if I go back and rewatch it, because I have forgotten stuff for that time.
And I think even if you do remember it, there's so much, it's such a dense show that you probably find things that you didn't catch the first time either, so yeah.
I remember actor Rob Mack was in a couple episodes, from It's Always Sunny. Rob Mack.
Yes, Rob Mack. I remember seeing him too.
He had a different stage name while in Lost, Steve. He's only Rob Mack now. So as Marge gasps in disbelief, the discussion group decides to do what they do best. Discuss. Mo thinks Homer and Marge are having a spat while Lenny thinks it's more of a tiff. And Mo takes offense to that, feeling that Lenny thinks he's a moron. Seeing things escalate, Carl plays Peacemaker. No, that's John Cena, Steve.
Oh, God. Of course. I can always get them confused.
Asking for all the weapons on their person, and Lenny gives up a leg holster knife, and Mo gives 2 revolvers. Carl pockets the knife and points the guns at Lenny and Mo, saying that it's time for him to lead the topic of conversation.
Really funny.
I love the escalation of the scene. It's very funny, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So meanwhile, in the dark of night, Dolph, Jimbo, and Kearney search the backyard for any signs of Bart. He and Shauna have made it up to the treehouse where they're safe, but also trapped, as the bullies have covered every entrance. One would have to be a Navy SEAL, Navy SEALs, speaking of Kevin Smith, to get in or out. Or you could just be Lisa Simpson.
Hello, lovebirds.
Whoa! What are you doing here?
I've been following your storyline from afar, Bart, waiting for that inevitable point where you get into trouble you couldn't get out of. Perhaps I could broker a settlement.
Well, that's my boyfriend, but he's a wad. And your brother's not a wad. He's a dink on the road to doofus.
Here, here. Ow.
The lamb has returned to the slaughter.
Whoa, you should write that down, man.
I'll remember it.
I don't think Shauna should choose any of you. Shauna should choose Shauna.
Your older sister's right, Bart.
You don't want me?
I want to find out who I am. And that's something only an inappropriately older man can tell me.
Well, that is one lucky creepy guy.
Lisa, are you out there in your slippers? Come inside.
Well, Bart, I guess that's our cue to skedaddle.
Not so fast, Simpson. What was that thing I was going to do to him?
Told you should have written it down.
I love that little joke of Shauna saying, your older sister is right. It's just such a small thing, but the fact that Lisa is smarter.
And Shauna also thought Bart was older, too.
That's true, so she thinks that Lisa's probably a teenager.
It's just maybe like the conception of The Simpsons, like from an outsider, is like, obviously Lisa is more mature, so people might think she's older.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my thought. But maybe Shauna is just dumb.
I think that both things could be true. Also, this is the second episode that we've reviewed in a row where Lisa has basically said, hey Bart, I've been watching your story on the sidelines, let me help. Because he did that last week too.
Yeah, it's fun. These feel connected. All right, well, Jimbo replies to Dolph saying that if he wrote down everything that he was supposed to, he wouldn't have any time for punching. And Dolph thinks Jimbo should write that down.
So Homer heads to bed, muttering to himself about Marge ruining the delicate relationship between a man and his TV show. He would complain to his best friend, but that happens to be Marge as well. It's actually kind of sweet. He then opens the door to discover that Marge has turned their bedroom into an island paradise for a private last episode party.
Homer is drawn to Marge in her island-appropriate dress, but is distracted by Jimbo hanging Bart out of the treehouse by the ankles. Much like the notorious B.I.G. hung Vanilla Ice out of a luxury penthouse, as described in one episode of VH1's Behind the Music.
That's right. Bart says it's fine, and Jimbo is just putting the fear of God into him. So, with his son's permission to have sex, Homer tells them that if the house is a-rockin', don't come a-knockin'. And Jimbo politely wishes Homer a good night, and Homer shuts the curtains and kisses Marge passionately.
So the camera zooms out of the bedroom to show Springfield, then whatever state it's in. In this existence, it appears actually to be Illinois. So the camera continues to expand its view, showing the Earth, then a pillowy cloud where God is arm wrestling Satan. Camera zooms further, showing the galaxy, and then more galaxies full of stars, planets, satellites, a lost alien, and then Fry and Leela from the show Futurama.
Oh.
We then see that the entire universe is a mere piece of sand in a kitty litter's box. The protagonist cat from Stranded says, "Perplexing, isn't it?" Leaving Homer to respond with an annoyed grunt. And that's how the episode ends.
Wow.
Steve, we already heard what the ending would be from Marge. That's called Foreskin Shadows.
I know those all too well. It's like a 5 o'clock shadow, but for your penis. And with that, why don't we take a break? And we'll be right back. Alrighty, we are back. Let's finish up our discussion of Beware My Cheating Bart. We'll talk about the things we liked in this episode, the things we could have done without, things that made us laugh, and what we thought of the episode as a whole, and what we're watching next week. But before we do all of that, we always like to give our co-host some gifts from this episode that we think that they would enjoy, and this is no different. Craig, I got you some things. First of all, you said you kind of wanted to revisit a certain TV show, so I got you Stranded, the complete DVD box set, complete with audio commentary, in a commemorative steel box. I got you a blue tie, so if you're ever near a principal's office or any door, you can hang it on the doorknob so people know that you're fucking. And, of course, I got you 2 guns and a knife so that you can lead every conversation in any discussion group.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't know if I'm going to get to the commentary for the episodes, because then I got to watch an hour-long drama twice, the same episode and the commentary, so I might not be...
Yeah, the idea of watching a beloved show, then having to listen to somebody talk about it for...
Yeah.
As long, if not longer than the episode itself, that's really... Yeah, that is annoying.
I mean, commentary from, people that actually worked on the show, that's one thing. Maybe that's more interesting. But could you imagine listening to a TV show recap of people that didn't even work on the show?
Yeah, have no say in the entertainment business at all, and are just 2 dipshits. Yeah, that's...
Yeah. Ugh, gross. Anyways, thank you for your thoughts and prayers, or gifts, as I call them. I was thinking of getting you that DVD set, but I don't think you need that, because you already watched the show. So, I thought you need some merch from the Happy Little Elves sequel.
Ooh.
Squeakquel. Elf, I forget what it was.
Sweeful,
yes. There's some merch there, and we're not done yet. I think you need foods that look like boobs. So here's some mashed potatoes, some Hershey Kiss cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken breasts, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Yes. Also, since you are bald, I got you Jimbo's skull cap, but built-in hair on the skull cap, so it'll be cool.
Perfect for the pool. I like it.
Yeah. And here is 85 pounds of Archie comics.
Hey, so that cost you $4.50. Okay, that's good. I appreciate that.
One more thing. Here's a bunch of stuff that Marge turned her bedroom into island paradise, so you can have fuck sex with your wife, island style.
That's very nice. It'll feel like home for her, and I love fuck sex. It's one of my 3 favorite kinds of sexes, so thank you.
I'm finished.
That's what I say when I'm done. Alrighty, Craig. What made you laugh in this episode?
Well, I did mention some of my favorite scenes, of course, in the pod. I have to go with the boob jokes were great. After Bart saw the boobs, I also like the kind of like inside joke when Bart's like, I'm 10 years old. Didn't you think about this after Shauna showed boobs?
Mm-hmm.
Which I forgot to mention last week when I said I remember something from this episode, and that was it.
Okay.
The Shauna flashing. And I loved the Abe flashback when Homer lied to Abe. And he's like, oh, Mona did this. I feel like anytime we see Grandpa Abe in flashbacks, he's very competent and not kind of a dummy like a Simpson. But this is like clearly like he's a Simpson, like believing a giant toddler, didn't do that, and it was Mona. That was funny. Yeah, a lot of scenes with Bart and Shauna, when she's making out with Jimbo and then's rubbing his head, Bart's head, that's cute and funny. Ralph car crash, the movie parodies, like for some reason Mo has an underage night. Of course he would.
Yeah.
Midnight Cowboy scene with Millhouse. I like that. The lifeguard at the pool, also funny. And then, of course, the bullies helping Marge out around the house. And let's not forget Mo, Lenny, and Carl discussing the fight that Marge and Homer had. We always talk about like things that we could have done without, and I feel like we rarely ever talk about things we don't like we could do without in this episode. And honestly, as much as I think they're creative and fun, the Bill Plimpton couch gag was a little too long. I wanted more jokes in the episode.
Wow, yeah.
If I can get to give it MBJ, though, man, I guess I'd probably just give it to Bart, He's the A story, and he's got some fun jokes, especially with, not knowing what to do that, now that, like, a girl's giving him attention. He has never experienced it before, so it's all new to him. So, congratulations, Bart, you win.
Nice.
Your thoughts, or your things you liked.
When Shauna and Bart were seeing the Jennifer Aniston movie, Shauna was like, okay, we saw his ass, now we can go. And I think for a lot of, like, romantic comedies of the time, there would be a point of, like, male nudity for some reason. You need to show a butt and to go. So I thought that was funny. I really liked the lifeguard, and I think that the movie parodies were solid. The flow of the episode, I thought it was really funny. I love Lisa in the final scene in the treehouse. I thought that was really good, and her, like, commenting. I thought the Lost stuff was really spot on. You make a good point about the Bill Plimpton. I think he's a great animator, and I think that the couch gag was funny, but it did go on. Like, it could almost been two couch gags in one in a weird way. Like, there's a lot happening in that couch gag. It's the whole life of a couch. I think I agree with you, too, that the MVJ has to go to Bart. Everyone did a good job, but I think Bart, especially him freaking out on the dinner table with the boobs, I think that really sold it for me, and like the fact that he's only 10 years old and nobody seems to realize that. So yeah. What are your overall thoughts on the episode?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was just a lot of fun jokes. I feel like Ben Joseph, who wrote this episode, obviously a Simpsons fan, so he knew how to craft this episode, and it while, like there's some new things that happen that we haven't seen before, like Bart seeing boobs and kind of maturing in this episode. Jimbo without hair.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like it was, a lot of like an older story, but felt new to me as well. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's also an episode that you can watch anytime. This episode is 13 years old, and it's still kind of timely. Like, it doesn't have too many modern references. Binge watching a TV show is going to be a thing 20 years in the future, so people will be able to get the idea. And it's something I feel like it's great we've seen, that Bart is experiencing older women.
That's right.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It does show like Bart confused, and Shauna, of course, kind of confused too. I mean, this is what being young is about. It's confusing, and for that, I give it a watch. And if I were to rank it, look, Steve, at the end of the episode, we get a glimpse of like galaxies, right? We're zooming out to reveal that's just a litter box. But I asked the internet, how many galaxies are there in the known universe? Ooh. And right now it's estimated between, 100 to 200 billion, all the way to maybe, 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. 2 trillion. That's a little bit. And in all of those galaxies, Steve, there's only one of you.
Aw, that's sweet.
But for this episode, I'm going to give it 969 billion galaxies.
Nice.
How about you?
this episode really captures the concept of growing up from a child into a teen and like finding that self and not exactly sure how to approach that. Also, I think there's like a minor TV trope about the bully making his lesser watch over his girlfriend, which is obviously very sexist, but it's also like something I've seen other sitcoms do, and I think this one covered it well. Also, I think that Ben Joseph, it's always, I know it's a whole staff of writers, but I think that anytime you have a first-time or one-time writer writing for all these characters, it can be hard to get the tone, and I think that this episode really captured the tone really well. So yeah, I think this is a solid episode. It flows really well. I do wish it were a bit longer, but I have no complaints otherwise. I think the Homer stuff was fun, and I think that the main story was really solid. So it's a watch for me as well. And well, it just so happens that 2012, when this episode first aired, it was a leap year. And so if Homer paid $10 a day for a year, that would be $3,660. So I'm going to give this, out of that, $3,169.
Nice.
So that is our talk about Beware My Cheating Bart. But Craig, Bart Summer continues with another episode.
And I get to guess?
You get to guess. What do you think it is? I can even give you the season number and episode number.
All right. Give it to me, baby.
Alrighty, we have season 21, episode 15.
Okay. I'm going to say this episode's called Bart's Underwear.
Ooh, I do like to see Bart's underwear, but sadly, that is not the episode. The title is Stealing First Base. What do you think that's about?
All right, well, Bart is playing baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of a rare movie, but you can't steal first base. It's hard to explain. It has to determine if there's like a runner on second. It exists though, but you have to like go to second. But I'd have to show you a diagram, but it's essentially that the person that was on first base is on second, but they made a play and an out that was at second for the other runner. But technically, if the umpire calls that second runner out and the opposing team has the ball, they are on second. That runner on second has to go back to first and make it safe, and then technically they steal first base. It's one of those like baseball like plays that rarely happens, and when it does, they gotta call up New York and figure out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Umpires usually know what they're doing, except for the ones behind the plate, of course, because they need glasses.
Of course, it's kind of like that time when you're on first and you feel your pants are about to burst.
Yes. Anyway, so there's a whole elaborate baseball thing about that, and in the B story, Lisa plays basketball.
Ooh.
But of course, we know this is about Bart and his love life. So Bart makes out with, let's say, Janie.
All right. I can see them together. Yeah. But sadly, that's not the case because Stealing First Base is about Principal Skinner, who announces that Springfield Elementary's 2 fourth-grade classes will merge until the absent Mrs. Krabappel returns. As a result, Bart reluctantly shares a desk with Nikki and develops a flirtatious rapport. And I'll have you know, Craig, that Nikki is played by one Sarah Silverman.
And she's one of the voices that we saw in that episode that led up to this Bart Summer.
Exactly. This episode that we're going to talk about next week aired March 21st, 2010. Do you have any memory of that episode?
Absolutely not.
Me neither. So I am excited to watch it with you, Craig, and listeners, I'm excited for you to hear us talk about it, and we'll hope you'll join us next week as you do every week. Thank you so much for listening. Hey, if you're so kind, go to your favorite podcatching app, leave us 5 stars or the equivalent. Don't need to write a real review, just tell us the first time you saw a boob. And if you want to contact us, you can always do it at 138simpsons@gmail.com or on the socials, that being Instagram or Threads or even YouTube.
And don't forget, we're on patreon.com/AnnoyedGruntBoy. Sign up today for some Annoyed Grunt Boy exclusive content.
Ooh boy.
That should or will be dropping eventually.
That's right. We mean it this time.
Yeah, we do. And don't forget to go to tpublic.com/user/AnnoyedGruntBoys for some Annoyed Grunt Boy merch.
Alrighty, thank you so much again for listening. For this week, I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Steve.
And I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Craig.
And remember, I want to discover who I am, and that is something only an inappropriately older man can give me.
I'll do anything for free beans. Anything.
What a great episode! People die,